Hi, I'm Joe Reish, the owner of Reish Shoe Store, Branson's oldest merchant in downtown Branson. We welcome you to come to the store, sit down, let us measure you, and fit your feet. The shoe store came with the story of a young man down on his luck in the Depression who had learned the cobbling trade and needed a place to ply it. The shoe store in Branson, Missouri, the shoe cobbler shop in Branson, Missouri, was up for sale. The gentleman that owned it was sick and old and he needed to sell. Dad was young and able and needed to get in business. It was a happy combination of events, and in 1934, on November the 19th, Dad rode into town, talked to the man, made the deal, and bought his stock of goods. Came back the next week to take over. They counted the stuff, and when Dad was done with that and paid the man, he had 25 cents left to make it to next week. This is Saturday night. The good news was the money was such that the 25 cents parlayed into cheese and crackers, and he made it. The cobbler shop quickly grew, and the services rendered in the cobbler shop are a separate article that we ought to do at a different time. But half soles, full soles, heels, polishes, cleanups, replace the laces, replace the heel counters were all chores that were routinely done in those days. New soles were needed because most of the soling material was leather, and it doesn't have the life that the new products today do. Dad's need was to sell good work boots, and he quickly got into Star brand work shoes whose products are similar today. Red Wing 952 would be a good example of that first Star brand work boot. The fit characteristics varied by brand, and that's why there were a lot of brands being sold. Some areas, some ethnics liked this brand better than others. The fit characteristics had been assembled, and that's a subject for another article. Dad knew the difference of shoes that fit and shoes that didn't. He'd had enough trouble being a large foot in rural South Missouri as a kid that he was sensitive to the needs and quickly began to sell shoes in sizes and widths. Mom's input into it allowed him to get into women's shoes, and when she came to Branson, leaving her job in Springfield, Missouri, at that point, women's shoes became an option, and we became a shoe store as opposed to a cobbler shop with a few new shoes. 30-some years later, Dad closed the shop about the time I was big enough to become interested in the tools and products. By this time, Dad had trained some 40 cobblers. Men that he had trained had shops of their own, some of them close enough that he felt no need to continue the trade. He had a few other things to do at the time. Among them, a new child at home, me. At age 42, he was glad to see me. The little kid was raised in the store, which is how I got to take the Brannick device to second grade show and tell. I'd been using the thing ever since it came and pretty well had it figured out. We still today sell shoes that fit, and we want you happy with our products, and we'll do our dead level best to see that you get them. Thank you. We welcome you to come to the store, sit down, let us measure you, and fit your feet.